Hey, welcome everybody. Yasin Nizami is my name, and I make these videos to educate my audience about the global macro, some plumbing of the financial system, some macroeconomics, some investing strategies, as well as the real estate market in Canada that I cover on this channel. So if you are interested in any of these topics, consider subscribe and let's get into our topic of the day. So this week's video is focused on a few news announcements that came out last week. Number one is the Canada CPI came out, which is surprisingly same as it was last month, 6.9%. So that is kind of giving people a hope that the inflation is not rising anymore. It is kind of coming to the plateau, and from there, at least people are hoping and expecting that this will come down. Now, this is just one CPI that is coming down compared to a previous trend. So we should be very careful about predicting the future outlook based upon just one CPI print, because remember, inflation doesn't go straight up or down, it fluctuates over time. But anyway, this will give some thoughts to the economist and the Bank of Canada that they may slow down their rate hike progress going forward. So as we have seen in the last round, they only raised 50 basis points, which is still a jumbo rate hike, but it is smaller compared to the expectation in the market. The market was expecting 75 basis points, but they only raised 50 basis points. So that is kind of also giving a signal that Bank of Canada is also trying to slow down their rate hike progress, and maybe this will be the last rate hike in the round, maybe 0.5% again, or 25 basis points, who knows. But then after that, they will probably take a pause. Now that is the expectation for sure. But if you look at the news here, the news is still very weak with regards to housing forecast. And let me just share my screen right now. So if you look at this news article from Bloomberg, you can see that we are entering into the busiest consumer shopping time, and this is when the Canadians are cutting back, lowering their spending power, because they are actually going through the financial trouble. And if you are seeing the peak of this consumer activity is going to be much lower in this busy time, which means the going forward outlook is going to be weaker economically. We also see that the Terranet housing data came out, and according to that, the home prices continue to fall. Now we're seeing it's a 10% drop from the fall. And on the month-over-month basis, it is dropped 1.2% compared to last month. So what we can see, the average national home price is around 756,000. So you can see this graph. This is an index, basically calculating the home price at a national level, and you can see at the peak in the month of March, it is now dropping continuously. And it is the sharpest decline. Mind you, it is the sharpest decline since the inception of this index. So that is a big decline compared to the previous era, what we have seen. So because it is also kind of slowing down as compared to the previous months, which is also telling us that maybe the housing decline is going to slow down and then kind of plateaued a little bit for quite some time. One thing I want to mention here is, so this is the Terranet housing index. So that's what it is showing. From the peak in the month of March, it is now showing a fastest decline, and we can see that the month over month has been consistently declining, and you can see every month 2%, 3%, 1.5%, it is declining. But the latest reading, 0.79%, is the shortest month over month decline compared to the previous month. So that is kind of telling us maybe the housing market is kind of slowing down in its price reduction, and maybe it will establish a plateau here, because we don't have an inventory. We don't have inventory available. So if the demand is weaker, but we also have supply weak as well. So that is kind of keeping the market still tight, especially in the detached segment. We still have quite a bit of activity in the condos and the lower end of the single family homes, But when you go up into the detached segment, especially the double garage, 4-bedroom house detached market segment, that market is still very tight, and the nicer houses are still being sold within a matter of days, as long as it is priced accordingly as per the market. So that's what we are looking right now. We can see what Bank of Canada will do in the next rate hike around. The expectation is it will be 0.5% or 0.25%, and then they will take a pause. And because we're already seeing the weakness in the economy, we are seeing Amazon is laying off, we are seeing Twitter has laid off, we're seeing Cisco System is laying off, all the big tech companies are laying off their employees, which is going to trigger a significant slowdown in the economy from a purchasing power perspective. And then people don't have jobs, they won't have their purchasing power to further take on more debt and mortgages to purchase property. So that is the outlook in the market. What do you see in your area? Let me know, put your comments down below, and I'll see you in my next week video. Take care.